Our next guest grew up in the comedy hotbed of Shawnee, Kansas, and he's skyrocketed to amazing things since from his Comedy Central appearances to his own comedy special and more. And now comedian Chris Porter swinging into Vegas for a string of shows over at Jimmy Kimmel's Comedy Club. Chris joining us now. Great to have you, man.
Thanks for having me,
Welcome
brother.
in. So, okay, I mean, hotbeds of comedy.
Yeah.
You got L.A.
For sure.
New York.
Absolutely.
Boston.
Maybe in the 80s.
Yeah, 80s. There were a couple different rounds. Dane Cook's era, there was a little bit.
Yeah.
Kansas.
Yeah.
How do you decide I'm going into comedy growing up?
Well, it's hard because growing up in Kansas, that's like saying I want to be an astronaut. Like, what's step one of that?
Exactly. What's the comedy scene like in Shawnee?
There isn't one.
Oh,
you
right.
have to leave immediately.
Okay.
I didn't even know it was an option, and then I had a friend that was like that guy that would watch a movie and want to be that, like he saw Swingers, and next thing you know, he's wearing zoot suits.
Nice.
And he got a job as a U.S. Marshal because he saw the movie U.S. Marshals. So he was that guy, and he saw a stand-up movie and decided he wanted to be a stand-up comic, and it was 1998. So phone books were still relevant.
Yes.
And he opened up the phone book. There was one comedy club in Kansas City. He called him. He says, I want to be a stand-up comic. How do I do it? And a month later, he talked me into doing it.
Oh, so he pulled you in?
He pulled me in. Yeah, I remember the first time he did it, I was front row center, and I watched 27 comics go up at an open mic night, and I was like, I'm funnier than half
See,
of these
this
people.
is, okay, I have sat at the open mic night where you're sitting there and you're like, oh, I could do this.
Absolutely. You're like, oh, I can't do that. And then you go see an open mic night, you're like, oh, no, I could do that.
Now, you went up.
I went up.
How was the first show?
It went well, but that was only because there were like 20 people from my work showed up.
Helpful.
Very helpful.
Gotta stack the room.
When there's a room already of only 30 and you've just almost doubled it, the advantage is yours, my friend. Yeah. And so it wasn't obviously it was my first time. Not good. Didn't last very long. But when I was done,
we're talking about comedy.
Yeah.
Well,
yeah, because you're literally up there and you say what you thought was going to be an hour of material in about 38 seconds. And so I did it, and I to this day I don't remember any of it.
Because it's a blur. It's all this
just
adrenaline.
So insane.
So fast forward 20 years. Now you're playing Las Vegas. You got you got your comedy specials. And this has been a whirlwind. How's your buddy doing in comedy?
He quit.
There we go. What is he now? What movie did he watch lately?
He moved to Germany, so who knows? I hope it was a more recent one.
Yeah, I hope he's not.
No, he chased it. He was also a guy that just chases women.
Oh.
He called me. He's like, I'm moving to Germany. Why? I met a girl online. I'm like, that sounds like a fair plan. That sounds like it's going to work out. I'll see you on Catfish. So that's where he is.
Well, we're happy to have you here in Vegas performing at Jimmy Kimmel's Comedy Club. How many of your friends are going to be packing the club?
Well, if it's anything like last night, it's going to be pretty packed.
Really?
Yeah, we had about 275 last night.
Nice.
Yeah, it was a good show. My friend Renee Gautier's opening. Spiro, who's a local cat, is emceeing. But yeah, they're great shows. The tickets are going pretty quickly. So.
Awesome, man. In comedy, I mean, you put in a lot of miles. You've been around the country. Different places have different kind of sensibilities. Do you have to play to the crowd, or?
Yeah, I mean, it's weird, and it's not because they're dumb or slow. It's just like in certain parts of the country, you do have to talk slower. Yeah. Just because that's how they speak. Yeah. Like you're in Vegas or New York or whatever, you can talk as fast as you want and people are on point. But if you're in Dayton, Ohio, they're like, easy, let's slow it down here.
Hey, listen.
We got time. There is no traffic here. So let's just say your words and have fun with it.
Vegas is kind of like a melting pot for all the different markets in one, isn't it?
Of all the world markets.
Yeah, pretty much.
Too, because like, Vegas is the only place where I've had people show up and then like halfway into the show they leave, and like I'll say something like, "Oh, are you not having a good time?" And they don't speak English.
Oh.
They just walk into a comedy club not knowing the language.
They just wanted a drink, yeah.
Thinking they were just going to figure it out as like some sort of phenomenon issue.
Yeah. How did you get chosen? Do you know Jimmy Kimmel? Is this?
No.
Really?
No, not at all.
You have to play his club.
Well, I'm hoping he shows up.
That'd be nice.
It'd be nice just to check in on his investments.
Oh.
No, I've never met the man, but I thank him very much for. I mean, it's a great club, and it's always, anytime you can come to Vegas and make a little money.
See, when you get to come to Vegas and make the money, that's where the winning. Because you visit as well.
I do visit. I've definitely given Vegas a bit of my money, so I can have some of it back.
This weekend,
now.
he's getting a smidge of it back. We're looking forward to having you, man.
Thanks for having me,
Thank you so much. He's in town over Jimmy Kimmel's Comedy Club all this weekend. Only a few tickets left. By the way, the club over at the Link Promenade, if you don't know, brand new and it's gorgeous. A few tickets left. KimmelsComedyClub.com if you want to buy them, and you can keep up with the club and with Chris on social as well.